Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to tackle a little bit more of the wiring loom and some of the parts left in the interior. It's about time this gear stick came out. This is a KAD short throw and I highly recommend them. While I'm here, I'll disconnect this reversing light switch. These wires are damaged and will need replacing. Next I'm going to take out the heater matrix, which is going to be a mixture of screws, hoses and plugs. And I haven't drained the coolant, so some coolant is going to be involved as well. The main blower switch will have to come out in order to get to this next screw. It's a simple 3-way toggle switch and looks like it's straight out of the Rover parts bin. There's one more plug that needs disconnecting. It's up here at the back. Now onto these coolant pipes. In order to give myself better access to the second pipe, I'm going to undo this final nut here. It will release the heater matrix and allow me to twist it into a better position. These switches are next and shouldn't be too much trouble. All the switches share this double nutted earth to the dash rail. Even more from the Rover parts bin, these switches are easily pushed out from the back. In order, we have spotlights, this one, hazards, and the rear heated screen. Temperature control is kept in place with this nut back here, and there's no room for a spanner. But it appears there was no room for a spanner for Rover either, because it was only done up finger tight. Next there's this plug, which I have no idea what it does, and while I'm down here I'll take care of the brake light switch. The yellow plastic shroud protects the wiring for the SRS system. This can come out first independent of the wiring loom. May as well get these relays out next. I've got no idea what they do. Turns out I didn't need to cut this. These fastenings release like a normal zip tie. The fuse box is held in place by what looks like 4 wood screws, and you can see some of the fuses have been removed as a weight saving measure from the factory. Now onto some of the final zip ties and plugs left in the cabin, and a little bit of insulation has to come out. The brain for the SRS system is kept here, beneath the rear seats, and is in charge of deploying the airbags. It's held in place by what appears to be male torque bolts. I don't have any female torque sockets, but luckily a normal spanner works on these. That's the whole SRS wiring loom taken out, and luckily nothing blew up. Following on with the main wiring harness, I'm led to the rear of the car, under the rear seats, and into the boot. There's some additional wiring back here from when I fitted some boot lights. I need to come up with a neater solution, so it won't be going back in. It's going to be easier to work in here without the boot lid, so it's the next thing to come off. The only wiring on the boot lid is for the lights that illuminate the number plate. It was when I was trying to get these cables through from the back that I noticed there's actually a plug for the number plate lights. With that removed, the boot should come off. So like many things with this car, turns out you got to remove something else before you can remove the thing you want to remove. Best get this bumper off then. With the boot lid off, I've got better access to the back, so I'll try and tackle this fuel tank next. I can just get to the plugs, but the hoses are going to be a little bit more tricky. Same story as before. I'll remove these speakers to give myself more room to get to the hoses. I've had these speakers out before, and they're quite easy to do from inside, but I'll take out the rear screen as it needs to come out anyway. It's tight, but the fuel tank comes out without too much fuss. Not much stopping me getting the rest of this wiring loom out now, but it will have to wait for the next episode, or I'll continue where I've left off. Thanks to everyone who's sticking with the project, especially during this slow disassembly process. I'm keen to keep momentum up, and there's plenty more videos in the pipeline, and lots more work to do. So I'll see you there.